Welcome back to another edition of Talk Nerdy to Me, brought to you from the broadcasting lair of Zia Comics in beautiful downtown Las Cruces, New Mexico. I'm your host, Troy Stegner. I have an unboxing for you, and this one kind of pulled my heartstrings a little bit, but we're not going to bury the lead anymore. It's look at that, Stan Lee, Excelsior. He passed a while back, but it's undeniable. His mark, his legacy on the comics world has been tremendous. I mean, he was basically the ambassador for comics in late 90s through the 2000s. Stan Lee, it's just undeniable the effect that he's had on comics, and they made a beautiful statue to memorialize him. So we're going to open that up. As always, it's tape. Sideshow, always open the Sideshow stuff with the Sideshow logo up. That's typically how they box it. So we're going to take the detaper tool, go around and cut all the papices. And it might be me, but there's always a sticker right there, the silver Sideshow sticker. I always try to avoid cutting that, and I just use that as a hinge point. That's just me. Different people do different things. I kind of like keeping that sticker intact. Just like some people keep the boxes after they've opened the statues, and some people trash them. I tend to keep them. So we're gonna. It doesn't look like there's a lot of pieces to it, so it shouldn't be hard to assemble. Oh, look at that. Okay, that is Mr. Lee. Yeah, it looks like it's maybe just a two-piecer. And this is going to be the base. Yeah, these are not for snackies, guys. These are, it's a desiccant. And a desiccant is basically, it absorbs the moisture, so it keeps moisture out of your statue. Don't eat them. Bad things happen if you eat them. Not for human consumption. Or even animals. Keep them away from your pets too. Okay, the base, I love it already. It looks like it's going to be a magnetic attachment instead of the peg and hole type things that they do sometimes. They've been doing a lot more magnetic things lately. It's set up like a comic book. I'm really liking that. Not just panels. I mean, it's got some iconic stuff there. You see Spider-Man's web. You see a lot of the bang pow type stuff. Made by Unruly Industries. Stan Lee Pow Entertainment. And it's got, I don't see a numbering on it, so it must not be limited, but it's just, I'm getting choked up, man. So if you look at Mr. Lee, you can see he's got a magnet on one of his feetsies here. So we're going to take that foot and, of course, place it in. I mean, there is a spot right there, footprint-wise, that should just fit right in. It does. I mean, it just clicks in. It's pretty solid. The magnets are pretty good. I mean, I can almost pick it up completely from that. But you don't want to do that, because if you get it picked up here and then the magnet releases, you just probably destroyed your base. So yeah, the base, he's slanting down towards you. He even has like the little page curl, as the page is turning on both sides. In his superhero pose, as Deadpool would call it. And where his fist is meeting the page, you've got your big star pow type sign. It's it's a little bit, I guess they call it the deformed look, because the head is bigger than it should be, and the limbs are really small. The body's a lot smaller, but he was as he got older, he was not a big dude. He was kind of skinny, wearing his tinnies there. Even the glass and his eyeglasses had that that orange tint to them. I'm really liking it. It's a good cartoony likeness of Stan Lee. Who, don't get me wrong, I was going to say he left us too early, but dude lived till in his 90s. So he lived a long life, long productive life. And and he left a very, very good lasting legacy in the comic world. His sweater, a little textured there, kind of got you can feel the rose in the sweater. Same with the seam on his pants here and the wrinkles. They're not just painted in; you can actually feel them. I'm loving the action. The pose just gives you kind of a motion feel to it. So, if you are a Stan Lee fan at all, and why wouldn't you be? He did a lot to make comics mainstream with the movies, and you've probably seen it in the movies. He did a lot of the Marvel movies. He did a lot of cameos in there, and yeah, I'm really liking this one. Really, really liking it. They even got down to his facial expressions. You can almost see him saying Excelsior as he lands. So yeah, good job, Unruly Productions. You guys knocked it out of the park on this one. It's not a big statue. It'll fit on just about any bookshelf, and my only downfall, it's polystone, but a lot of the higher end statues are. And the only thing I don't like about the polystone is they break and chip a lot easier than PVC. They're a lot less durable. But this one seems to be, there's not a lot of, real small, thin, breakable areas on this one. Even the thin limbs are pretty solid. They're pretty good. And the pages where they curl, they're pretty thick underneath there when you feel them. So you don't have to worry about those chipping off so much. So, all in all, really great statue, especially if you're a Stan Lee fan, as I am. So I'm giving this one 2 thumbs up, man. I really like it. I'm not sure if it's still available on Sideshow. These were pre-ordered long ago, and they just came in, so it's been probably a good year. That being said, wow. So if you liked this unboxing and you'd like to see more like it, subscribe, man. It don't cost you nothing, and it helps us out so much. And while you're at it, you can hit the bell icon. You'll be notified whenever we put up a new video. And until you see that new video, later, nerds.
Get nerdy with me. Tell me what game that you get on. Is it card or read? What kind of class do you play, girl? In an RPG?